Good morning, good night, good evening, everyone. And today we've got Volron back in some carrier gameplay for us. He loves to play carriers in operations. He's made that very, clear to me when we've been playing together. He loves playing carriers. Now he's divvied up with Gneis, Regatio, Massachusetts, Baltimore, Fiji, Ognavoy, and Z23. Now, for anyone that plays carrier on Killer Whale, it's very simplistic. It's one of the best carrier ops for a carrier. It's been that way since Tier 6. It was very possible that a good carrier player at Tier 6 could always get a major contribution. Now, it's a little bit harder. Not impossible, but harder. But the carrier gameplay is literally just simplistic. It is straightforward. It is easy. That usually depends on the carrier. If you have a carrier that uses AP rockets, you can feel free to go for the Nurnberg because it's extra damage for you. And it helps the team get through the northern side a little bit faster, but 95% of the time, you're going to be going through the southern entrance like Volron is. Now, you don't have to attack the DD. You can attack the, the battleship. But if you feel confident enough in your skills like Volron here, you can definitely go for the DD. It equals better XP. Plus, it helps the team if you have someone going through the southern entrance. Like, he's going to kill that DD in 2 strikes. So, right there, he's at 20,000 damage just from that one DD. So, and since it's a DD, you can probably magnify that times double the normal XP. So, right there, he gets a huge advantage over his teammates as far as the end-game competitor scoreboard goes. Now he's free just to go for the battleship. He has lost a little bit of time, but not a huge amount. The only downside is that as it gets close to the entrance, it will get harder to make, drops because the Nurnberg will come into effect. But you do see that, yes, he does start going into the Nurnberg's fire. So it's definitely not near as easy as it was at Tier 6. A good Tier 6 player could basically knock out I think it was the Kohlberg? In like 1 strike. He only gets 1 torp though, which is unfortunate. But for only like 2.5 minutes in, 3 minutes, and he's up to 38,000, it's not bad. Two bomb hits, or 4 bomb hits, 2 fires, and those are permanents. So he's going to get 60-second fires, and that's going to tick, tick, and tick. Hopefully he does get the kill on that, but we'll see. Maybe he'll get a 3rd fire. 3rd fire, so 3 60-second fires. If he doesn't get the kill on that Baron, I'd be very shocked. Because it's harder to hit it when you get to this kind of angle because, as you saw, they all hit the rock. It's at a very sweet spot right there. That's why it's harder to do it. Other carriers that have a shorter range, like Royal Navy ones or Enterprise, could definitely pull that off. I don't know if he's going to get the kill though. That's a tough one, even with the 3 fires on it. Oh, the fires went out. But he still manages to get it. So, that's up to 81,000. One thing that's interesting is that his buddy went in through the other way. But Volron's like me. He always sends these carrier through the southern way. I honestly prefer going through the southern way personally, because it just makes you able to get into the action faster, and then it puts you in a good position to deal with the reinforcements if you're in a battleship. That's literally why. And honestly, Volron does literally everything how I would do my carrier, except even a tad bit better. He's a little bit better. He knows what he's doing. But since he plays the majority of them carriers, he sometimes changes it up. But he definitely outranks me in terms of carrier gameplay, let's be honest. And I have no shame admitting that. I do some good carrier gameplay at times, but my carrier gameplay is situational. He seems to perform it always. 3 torps, 12,000. He's already crossed 100k. I don't know. The Z is looking very nasty right now. I don't think the Z isn't probably going to live. Let's see what happens. Oh, took a big flak bubble there. Doesn't look like the Z gets his torps off. Yep, Z does not get the torps off. Double fires on Gneis. Looks like he... No, those are permanent. So, double fires on Gneis. So, those are ticking. Now, he's very lucky in this point that he gets the damage for him, the Gneis. I can't imagine the amount of times I go in and everyone just focus the Gneis down. It's super easy damage. Let's be honest. Very easy damage. At tier 6, it was a lot easier for a carrier to damage stack, and now it's a lot harder. But he gets the damage. He gets the ability to damage stack it. If your teammates are really breaking the Gneis down real fast, go for the Baron. Everyone usually will focus the Baron last, so if you want to get some extra and easy damage, go for the Baron. If you don't feel comfortable in striking the Gneis a second time, go for the transports. Make it run on the transports. I mean, it is easy damage, but it does help. And see, he's put his carrier in an excellent position where he can deal with all the reinforcements. And I wasn't even paying attention to the map to see why the Massey was taking so long to get in. Now, Volron was a lot better at carriers than I am, like I admitted. He's able to go for the Nurnberg. Personally, I avoid the Nurnberg because I just don't like going near the forts. Everyone forgets that those forts have a lot of AA. But he does have his buddy in the south. That is super close. So, with his buddy, he doesn't need to stay in range of the AA as long. And in terms of plane health, he's got plenty of bombers. He's kind of a little low on his torpedo bombers, so he's got to manage those guys well. But odds are he'll do it. Pops the engine boost to get out of the fighters. Hopefully he can get back to his teammate. I would personally pull the fighter back because there's no point to waste those planes. But that's just me personally. Let's see. Is that going to be a perfect 4 torps? Looks like perfect 4 torps to me. Oh, just close. So close. That could have been his kill easily. And his buddy picks it up. But he almost had that. But that Nurnberg just grazed by that first torp. That second torp. Now he's going out for the DD. He's going to torp the DD easily. And that's going to equal better XP. But you see why I don't usually go for the Nurnberg is because he lost a significant amount of planes doing that. And what's the torp spread on that? Very beautiful torp spread. But the DD engine was busted. Had it not been busted, it would have probably died to a torp. Kudos to Massey for picking that up. Now he is going to go in on the Fubuki. Now the Massey did just break that Fubuki's engine. So, if anything sticks on that carrier, or that DD, it's gonna hurt. And survey says just one torp. But I wasn't even paying attention to his damage. He's up to 174,000. That's really good damage for a carrier on Killer Rail. Like, really good damage. So they've lost his Z-23. So we'll see who else dies in this match. Now, in terms of torpedo bombers, he is running out of torpedo bombers. He's going to lose 2 to probably 3 from the fighters, plus the AA, so yeah. So he definitely lost 3 bombers. It looks 3 torpedo bombers. That does hurt a little bit. Fortunately, Kaga does pump out the planes, but he is running out of, torpedo bombers. He's got plenty of bombers, though. And the rockets, well, the rockets are just meh anymore. Honestly, the rockets have been kind of meh ever since they were really, well, nerfed. And I would only call them really good during the RTS days. But even during the RTS days, it was mainly the torps and the bombers that were the main threat. So the fighters really don't play a role in Kaga. Kaga's main strength is you can see her torpedo bombers and her bombs, but mostly the torpedoes. Manage your torpedoes well on Kaga and you'll be perfectly fine. I'm gonna be honest. Manage the torpedoes well on Kaga and you'll be fine. Beautiful bombs. No fires, though. So, judging by what I can see on that Gneis, it's definitely a secondary build. Beautiful strike on it. He might pick it up. Yep, does pick it up. 4 solid bomb hits. 231k. He is running out of bombers, but he can still manage strikes. He's going to have to be careful going through this Aoba, though. He might only get maybe 2 strikes off. He's out of heals, so that's unfortunate. I think it'll die before the torps get there. Yep. So yeah, he'll only get 1 strike on this Fuso. And then he literally has to basically switch back to... He can keep launching torps, but we'll see what happens. Does he... He's going to try to outrun him. 2 torps on the Aoba. Fighters don't lock onto him, though. And, yeah, he's going to lose 1 point. So he's going to probably get maybe 2 planes back from that squad. Yep, 2 planes back. All 3 of the torps hit, though, for 12,000. His buddy is going to get some focus fire. And he has to focus this Nurnberg, because if that Nurnberg gets even anywhere into the port, yeah, they lose the do not enter haven. So he has no choice but to strike it. 3 bombs. Beautiful 7k on it. Now, he can afford to lose the bombers. He's got plenty of bombers, so he can afford to lose them. But odds are, it's going to go down. I don't know what happened to the mass, though. I think either the mass he took torps, or he got his ass citadeled by, well, the Fuso, which does happen. And he's basically out of bombers, or torpedo bombers at this point. I mean, he's got 18 on the board, but that's only about a third of what he usually gets. I hope they can kill the Fuso. Odds are he can get 3 strikes off on this Baron easily. They may not be perfect strikes, but he could get 3 strikes off on it easily. Three torps. He's up to 281. So really beautiful damage. Very beautiful damage. Two bombs. Double fires. And it looks like those are permanent. So he's going to get ticking damage from that. The only downside is that guy is getting very close to the circle. The good news is he's turning out. Another three fires on it. His buddy's, well, almost dead. He's got to get that guy down. And the Baron's turned out, so odds are he's not going to go into the port. But it is getting very hairy and very close. He'll probably drop one set on the Fuso. Oh, Fuso's going to go down before the torps hit. Yep. Fiji outmaneuvers the torp, so good for him. Oof. I mean, Bismarck has spawned. Got a lot of people coming in. But 323k. And we're looking at a solid 5 stars. He just picked, so 6 kills, 330k. Beautiful cargo display. And textbook, you know, carrier gameplay on Killer Whale. Like, literally textbook. Volron is one of the few carrier players that I know that... Oh! Getting some saltiness. So they managed to complete it, so good for them. 5 stars.